Good morning, students. Welcome to the enrichment classes in physics for standard 12. Today I will begin with a small discussion on a particular question. Here you see there is a thin metallic spherical cell at the center of which there is a sphere which is uniformly charged, and Q is the charge on that small sphere. This is a metallic or a conducting cell of some thickness. You have to find the surface charge densities on the inner as well as outer surfaces of the cell. See its solution I am giving. This charge Q on the inner sphere, we assume it is placed at the center. It is given in the question, suppose. It will induce some charges on the inner and outer surfaces of the sphere. Conceptually, what happens is that this being metallic, it has large number of free electrons within its body. Those free electrons will move under the influence of its electric field. So this charge will either attract or repel them. If it is positively charged, the free electrons will move in this direction. If it is negatively charged, the free electrons will move in opposite direction. This movement of electrons will create one kind of charge on the inner surface and an exactly equal but opposite charge on the outer surface. In fact, we can use Gauss law to tell that this inner surface of the cell will develop a charge minus Q, and the outer one, it will develop a charge plus Q. If Q is positive, then this will be negatively charged and this will be positively charged. There will be no net charge within the conducting body. We have discussed electrostatics of conductors, there we had seen. And therefore the answer to this particular question will become this, that sigma inner surface charge density of inner surface will be charge. Charge is how much? Minus Q upon its area. Now the radius will be given, suppose inner radius and outer radius are almost same. For the sake of clarity, I have drawn this thickness to be so very big, but it is thin metallic spherical cell, so its thickness can be neglected. So inner and outer radii you will take as R only. So this surface area will become how much? 4 pi R square. Is it clear, students? Likewise, can you tell me what should be sigma outer? Sigma on the outer surface will be plus Q upon 4 pi R square. Now this is the answer. I would like to discuss a bit more. How did we get these values minus Q and plus Q? This we can prove using Gauss law. We know that within the conductor the electric field is how much, students? It is 0 at any point inside the conductor. We draw a Gaussian surface like this, which I am representing by dashed curve. So this Gaussian surface is in the form of a sphere and it lies completely within the conductor. So at all points on this Gaussian surface the electric field must be 0. Since E is 0, therefore the flux which is given as integral E dot ds, this also must be how much? It must be 0. And from Gauss law we know this flux must be equal to how much? 1 by epsilon naught times Q in. So that must be equal to 0, and therefore Q in must be equal to how much? 0. What does that mean? That means the total charge inside this Gaussian surface must be 0. Now in this sphere had charge Q, total charge has to be 0. That's why the inner surface of this cell must have a charge minus Q. So this minus Q and this plus Q will cancel. So please remember, students, if you have a cell, a spherical cell, at the center if you have charge Q, then it induces charge minus Q on the inner surface and charge plus Q on the outer surface. Such concepts we shall use in other questions, so please fit it in your mind properly. Let's proceed to solve some questions then. Okay, see the next question. This question I have taken from H.C. Verma. It is in fact a solved example there, but I wanted to discuss the concepts involved in this particular question. The question says, figure shows three concentric thin spherical cells, and we will assume them to be conducting. It should have been given there. Conducting spherical cells A, B and C of radii small a, small b and small c respectively. The cells A and C, the innermost and outermost cells A and C, are given charges plus q and minus q respectively, and the cell B is earthed or grounded. The question is, find the charges appearing on the surfaces of B and C. Let us try to see how do we solve this question. Two charges are given q and minus q on the surfaces of A and C. Grounded means this potential is the same as the potential of earth, and that we know, students, it is taken as 0. First step, think about this conducting cell B. Just now I have discussed that if there is a cell, at the center of it, if there is some charge q, it induces negative charge on it, on the inner face, and positive charge on the outer face, that is minus q and plus q. But here there is one more cell. There are three cells. So if I draw this cell B like so, this is cell B. For the sake of clarity, I am drawing it thicker. At its center there is how much charge? Q. Now if you draw a Gaussian surface here, this Gaussian surface lies completely inside this spherical cell. Therefore the flux through it must be 0, because electric field at all these points must be 0. This suggests that the Q in must be 0. So if this is Q, the inner surface must develop how much charge? Minus Q. Understand the logic carefully. So what I told? Because this is conducting cell, inside this electric field is 0. Therefore if you draw a Gaussian surface through this cell, all the points on the Gaussian surface should lie within this cell B, then the flux should be 0. Therefore Q in should be 0. There is charge Q. So for total charge to be 0, the inner surface, not the outer one, the inner surface should develop charge minus Q. Same analogy we have to apply for this cell. But before that, outer surface we don't know what is the charge. It may not be plus Q in this case because there are three cells. So we will assume it to be Q dash. And then you see the similar analogy for cell C. If you choose a Gaussian surface in the form of a sphere centered at this point, such that all points of the Gaussian surface lie within this spherical cell C, if you draw it a bit thick in your mind, you can imagine the Gaussian surface through the conductor C. Then Q in must be 0. Same reasoning. If Q in is 0, you see inside that Gaussian surface there are charges Q and minus Q which sum to be 0. The unbalanced charge is Q dash. So for the total charge to be 0, the inner surface of this must develop how much charge? Minus Q dash. Minus Q dash. I should write it inside. So these are the charge distributions: Q, minus Q, plus Q dash, minus Q dash, and minus Q is not the charge on the outer surface, it is the total charge minus Q. So we have to find what is Q dash. Now see, I told minus Q is the total charge on the conductor C. Out of total, minus Q dash, if it has appeared on the inner surface, then what will be the charge on the outer surface? Suppose it is X. Then we can write X plus this one, that is minus Q dash, must be equal to how much? Total charge, that is minus Q. And this will give you X is equal to how much? Minus Q plus Q dash. So X will be minus Q plus Q dash. So this is our charge distribution. Now we have to find the value of Q dash. That is the only unknown in this particular question because Q is given. So they have asked the charges appearing on the surfaces of B and C. So on the surface of B the charge is Q dash. On the surface of C the charge is minus Q plus Q dash. So charge on surface of B is equal to Q dash, and charge on surface of C is equal to Q dash minus Q, I can write. Now I have to find what is the value of Q dash. For that we will take help of the fact that since the cell B is grounded, therefore its potential must be 0. The total potential on the surface of cell B must be equal to 0. Now how do we find potential? Now before I discuss this, let me tell you one more thing. If there is a cell having some charge for points outside, the potential has the same formula as if the entire charge is placed at the center. But for a cell for points inside, the potential has the same formula as the formula for potential on the surface, because inside the electric field is to be 0. This we had discussed earlier in our regular classes also, you should keep in mind. So for points inside, the potential has the same value as on the surface, and for points outside, the potential has same value as if the charge is placed at the center. So we will use this concept. Now potential at B is due to whom? It is due to this Q, it is due to minus Q, Q dash, minus Q dash, and minus Q plus Q dash. And the total potential must be 0. So let's frame the equation. So potential at B due to this spherical cell A will be how much? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, which I'll write as K, times this Q. Now this B is at how much distance from this center of the cell A? It is at distance B, so it will be KQ upon B. I told this point is outside this cell, so we'll assume the entire charge is placed at its center. Is it clear? So it becomes KQ upon B. Then the potential at this point due to the charge minus Q, that will be how much? Minus KQ upon radius of this cell, that is B. Due to Q dash, it will be plus KQ dash upon B. Then due to minus Q dash. Now for cell C, this point is inside. So the potential at a point inside a cell is same as the potential on its surface. So minus Q dash, that will become minus K Q dash upon this radius, that is C. Because this point is inside, we will write the value of potential on the surface only. And due to charge minus Q plus Q dash, we can write K Q dash minus Q and divided by that distance, that is C. And this total potential has to be how much? 0. This equation can easily be now solved. So many terms will cancel also. So K will go that side, and then on solving this can easily be solved, and this will give the value of Q dash in terms of Q. So this will come out to be Q dash is equal to B upon C times Q. So that is the answer to this particular question. Now we have got Q dash. Therefore the charges on the surface of B, that is Q dash. Q dash means it is B by C times Q. And on the surface of cell C, the charge will be how much? Q dash minus Q. So that you can find. Q dash will put as B by C Q minus Q. You will get the final answer. Main thing is the method. You see how we have found the potentials due to all the spherical cells at concerned point, and because it is grounded, the total potential is 0, and then we have got an equation. The theme is that. Let's see a question. This is from the assignment sheet which I will be giving you. So this is question number 41. So there is a hollow metallic sphere. It has a radius r is equal to 5 centimeter, and it is charged such that the potential on its surface is given to be how much? 10 volt. The question is the potential at the center of the sphere is, 4 options are given. I am not writing the options. Let's see what will be the correct answer. Now just now we discussed, since this is metal and there is no charge inside, the electric field inside this metal must be how much? 0. And we know E is how much? E is minus dV upon dr. Since E is 0, dV by dr becomes 0. Derivative of V with respect to r, if it is 0, that means V must be constant on variation with r. V is constant, so all these points which are inside this cell will have same potential, and that will be equal to the potential on the surface. Potential on the surface is 10 volt. Therefore for all points inside this metal, the potential will be how much? 10 volts. Not only at the center of the sphere, but at any other point, it will have same potential. So that is the answer to this question. Let's see next one. See the next question. This is a metal sphere. This is spherical metal, radius A, and it is enclosed by a spherical shell. The question is this, that the electric potential of the inner metal sphere is 10 volt. So this one is at 10 volt. And the outer shell, its potential is given to be 5 volt. Yes, you are asked to find the potential at the center. So potential at the center is which of these four options are correct. Now see, it is given this is metal. If this is metal, then inside this the electric field must be 0. If electric field is 0, same reasoning will apply. Minus dV by dr must be 0. This implies V must be a constant. V will be constant inside this, not outside this. Here there will be electric field at this point. So here electric field is 0, so potential will be constant at all these points and will have same value as this potential. Now what is this potential at this surface? It is 10 volt. So the correct answer will be how much? 10 volt. It's as simple as that. So you must be very much clear regarding finding these potentials, where the potentials will be constant and where they will not. So potential will be constant in a region where electric field is 0. I would like you to try most of the questions given in this particular assignment, students. Today I'll stop here. I have given some idea regarding potentials and how we are using Gauss law to decide what will be the charge configurations on inner and outer spherical cells. With this much as a hint, please try to solve the questions given in the assignments. So for now, I'll stop here. Read well, try to do the assignments. If you have queries, let me know. I'll try to solve them in the next class. Thank you. Take care.